because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Ben Davison joins me. All Ben after going first round. I bet it's probably nice, especially from your perspective, to know that Royston actually got some rounds tonight.
Yeah, I say that all the time, when you've got good prospects and they're getting knockouts along the way, it can be a hindrance to him because Royston hasn't even completed a round in, I think, about a year. So for him to actually get that experience, I think it showed he needed it. Also, I think the pressure that they put on themselves to start looking for a knockout is unrealistic, and it hinders the progress. So I think that was exactly what the doctor ordered, to be honest.
Have you kind of noticed then, either in the gym or when you guys are just kind of talking in general about Royston's fight, has he been kind of mentioning knockouts more, just even in general conversation, because a few of them have come?
No, he's a fantastic student, and he's coming on all the time. He's not just your average prospect. He's what you call a blue chip prospect. So, he's a potential superstar. So, he's working on things in the gym. Just when it comes to the fight, sometimes when they're getting these first round knockouts, there's almost a reputation that they try to upkeep, and they're looking for it a little bit too much rather than actually going on there and working on the things that they're doing in the gym. So that's part of experience, especially when he's only just 19.
Is it just going to be kind of more of that you're looking for then? More opponents who are actually going to give him rounds and others now who are going to give him something to think about?
Yeah, so it's actually a little bit like when his first couple of fights, he was looking for the knockout. We discussed that, went away, worked on that, come back. Then actually the next two, he wasn't forcing it, looking for it. He was actually focused on being first more, and he got the knockouts from that. This time he was focused on looking for the knockout for the spectacular big counter. And that's experience for him to go back and go, do you know what? I was looking for that counter, I was looking for that knockout, and I know next time to go back to focusing on the things that we've been working on in the gym.
Look forward to seeing Royston out again soon. Obviously, great performance tonight. Quick one on Leigh Wood. There's kind of a lot of talk around the belt, and I know Eddie's kind of suggested what he wants. Leigh will have in his mind what he wants. Has there been any concrete conversations surrounding the belt and Kolmosov and any of that yet?
No conversation yet. We'll be in Sheffield with Eddie for Pat McCormack on the week of July the 1st. So I suppose Leigh will pop down, we'll have a meeting and a discussion and sort of go from there. What Warrington's a fight everybody's talking about. I'm assuming that's what you was hinting at. Yeah. Obviously, for that, it's a potential stadium fight. I think for that to happen, we need to know the football schedule, and we should have that by the time we get into the fight week in Sheffield to have a discussion and sort of go from there.
Just a quick one on Leigh. Obviously, he's in New York at the moment. I know you've dissected the fight with us, you spoke about it, and brilliant night for Leigh in the rematch. How good is it just kind of to see him getting these awards, being over in New York, the picture alongside Bivol, like just seeing all of that, it's kind of the extras of all the hard work now. People are actually taking notice. And I know it's obviously for what happened last year, but it's good to see.
Yeah, do you know, more than anything, it was a bit of a funny one to see him in a picture with Bivol, because Bivol and Canelo was a fight that Lee Wiley sat down and went through with Leigh Wood quite a bit. So to see them two to get for the rematch, yeah, even for the first fight, wasn't it? For the first fight, so yeah, it was quite surreal to see the two of them in that picture together. I'm sure Leigh probably mentioned that to him if there was a translator there where he could understand. So yeah, it's unbelievable, and the whole team is absolutely ecstatic for Leigh Wood receiving these awards for what he's done and all his success.
I can't wait to see him back, and fingers crossed it's the Warrington fight and that can all kind of get, I guess, nicely resolved. One more thing, Teofimo Lopez, Josh Taylor tomorrow night. Have you been surprised or not surprised at all from kind of the way the guys have been at each other? I feel like when you look at them individually and their personalities, we kind of knew that they were never going to be best of friends come fight week.
Not surprised at all. I actually think Josh has kept his cool quite well. I think that he's up for it, as you can see. He looks in fantastic shape. I see him weighing in this morning. He's obviously prepared diligently. He looks in great shape on the scales, and I think he looks in a great frame of mind. I do fancy Josh in the fight quite heavily. I fancy him potentially to stop Teofimo. And I think again, it's I think it'll be easy to try and play down the victory. What people will do because of Teofimo maybe not in the best of recent form against someone like Sandor Martin, who's he's an awkward night's work for anybody. But Teofimo's a top quality fighter, and victory tomorrow night for Josh Taylor solidifies exactly what he keeps saying, in the sense that he is right at the top when it comes to 140.
It's kind of been a strange, I'll say, maybe 18 months looking at Teofimo Lopez from the outside. Do you feel like there's kind of just a real mental fragility around him? I don't know if it's, I'm guessing since the Kambosos defeat, or I just feel like there's been a complete different change.
I just feel like there's a complete lost sense of reality with boxers. I feel like, of course, there's going to be performances that stand out more than others. There's going to be better performances than others. Okay, he's had a few bad performances. Doesn't take away the fact that he's able to produce performances like the Lomachenko performance and other performances leading up to that. He was a blue chip prospect, and for a reason. So, yeah, okay, he may not be looking like he's coming on the best of form, but when you're against opponents similar to Josh against Jack, when you've been up for fights like against Lomachenko, sometimes these fighters do struggle to get up for fights that they're heavy favourites in.
So we'll see a different Teofimo Lopez going into this, you expect, as soon as the bell rings on Saturday.
What I'm trying to say is that you can't take away the victory from Josh. Like, you can't play it down because, I'm sure Teofimo's right up for the fight as well. So it is a legit top elite victory for Josh Taylor come tomorrow night.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,